Hello and welcome to this tutorial. So we're going to look at a lofted feature. So as per usual, whatever you can do as a boss or a base, you can also do as a cut. So we will look at the lofted base today. So a loft is a way to take many different profiles on many different planes and create a single feature out of them. You can use this for creating handles, where there's kind of specified profiles along the way, but you're not super restricted on what the overall, transition between those are. So what we need to do here for a loft is, because we're going to create many profiles, we need a few planes to create those profiles on. So we can create a plane. So I'm going to create a plane parallel to the top plane. So I'm going to select my top plane, and then I'm going to choose plane. So already selected that top plane, and then I want to choose, let's do 40 millimeters from that. So now I have my base planes, and then I have plane 1, which is 40 millimeters from the top plane. So I would like to let's create 4 planes in this direction that are all parallel. So I'll choose that one. I'll make this one 30. And you can let's make 2 of them 30 apart. And we'll click OK. And then we'll choose a plane again, select this last one, and we'll make this one 20. So a little bit closer. So now we have a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what I want to do is I want to create a series of profiles that allow me to loft them together. So let's choose this top plane and we'll create a sketch. So just by clicking, it brings up the window and I choose my sketch. So we'll start out with a center rectangle. So go ahead and turn off those planes if that's getting in your way. Put a rectangle there, and let's make this 50 by 75. And that's fully defined. So that's the first. So we will then sketch on plane 1, and we'll go normal 2. And this one I want the exact same thing. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. We could sketch another rectangle right on top, but there is this convert entities. So the convert entities allows us to select those 4 edges. You can also select the chain and click OK. And what that does is it takes what you selected and brings it to the plane that you're sketching on. And this little symbol means it's on the edge. So basically this edge and this edge are exactly the same. So we'll accept that. So you don't need any dimensions or anything. So as this rectangle would get bigger, so would that. So we'll sketch now on plane 2. We'll go hit the space bar and go normal 2. And we will sketch a center rectangle, and we'll make it a little bit smaller. So we'll make this one 40 by, let's do 35. So there we have 3 profiles on 3 different. So let's choose our next plane and we'll sketch on that. So we will create a polygon. Let's create a 6-sided polygon from the center. We need to make one of those either horizontal or vertical depending on how you want it. And we'll add a dimension. We'll actually dimension the circle. So the circle is any opposite 2 edges will be that that dimension as well. So we're fully defined. Now this last plane, we will draw a circle. So I can just use the origin that's there and not actually go normal 2 if it's not too complicated of a shape. So now I have 5 profiles that I will loft together. So now let's go over to features, and you'll see now that I have more than one profile, as I can choose the lofted base. So basically we're going to select our sketches and our profiles as our sketch, and then it will basically fill in fills in and transitions between them. So one thing you'll notice how it twists, and this is based on these, basically these are the starting point of your sketch. So you see you can quickly and easily kind of move them to make the shape a bit more pleasing, or if you want to add, if you're trying to go for a more organic shape, you can make them twist. So the transition here from the 4-sided to the 6-sided is an interesting one, and the same for the 6-sided to the circle. That's also an interesting one. But let's leave that there. And if we want to turn off all our planes, we can do that. So we've now just created this unusual shape. But you can, this looks almost kind of like a nozzle or something. It allows you to go from, again, whatever shape you are and transition it to a different shape over those series of plots. So if you want to change any of those sizings or whatnot, so that you can, create a different shape, you can. You can reorder the sketches, and you can change all these points as well. You can change those around to get that twist or something different. So I've just realized I want to actually add in another endpoint. So I actually want to create a new plane. I'm not going to start from scratch. I'm just going to create a new plane, which will make, let's make it 30 from that last plane. And on this plane, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use a point. So I just want basically my circle to end in a point. So points, easy to sketch. You can create a point in your reference geometry as well, but that's just in a sketch. So now I have this sketch here that I can now add to my my loft. But as you can see, it's not actually available because I made the sketch after I made the loft. So what we can do is if I click and hold, I can actually drag my loft all the way down. This point has no association with my loft yet, so that's why I'm able to just drag and pull that loft all the way past. So now if I were to edit my feature and I want to add in that last point, so I'm just going to select that, and that's selecting that point. And as you can see, now I've made my loft into a point, as I wanted to make something pokey, I guess. So that's a loft where I'm creating many different profiles of any shape that you want on different planes to create this somewhat organic shape. So if you just choose different size rectangles, you can get them to kind of transition between each other. So if we actually go back and let's delete our point and let's delete our last sketch. So say we're transitioning from a square to a six-sided shape. Maybe this is an actual, some sort of ducting or something for HVAC. So we'll make it 2 millimeters thick. We'll show a preview, and then we'll select both of these faces, and we've kind of basically made some sort of cool looking nozzle thing that you can mate to a square and a rectangular or a hexagonal shape. So that's the loft and some of its functionality. You need planes and profiles, and then you can loft a boss. Thank you.